Thank you.
¿Qué tal? Nice to meet you all. First thing is, Jose asked me to liven things up. So the first thing I'm going to do is liven things up here. So just to be clear what I think. Unfortunately, we lost 7-0 to Bayern Munich, which was not the most happy day for Barcelona Football Club. Anyway, my connection to Barcelona was I lived there as a kid, and I've been there about 50 times. My fiance was from Barcelona, but she decided to marry a Catalan instead of me. She didn't want to move to Catalans are very, shall we say, Catalans believe that Catalunya is the best place, and you can't necessarily move too far from Catalunya. In any case, I wanted to ask a couple of friends to come on up here and talk about why they're in Catalunya, and then I'm going to be a little controversial because I have my own ideas, having worked in the startup space and between Europe and the United States for the last 22 years. I was born in France, my mother's Austrian, lived in about 6 different European countries, have started businesses in Spain and in UK and Germany and here in the States. So can I get my different colleagues to come up? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce each company, or I'm going to have each company introduce themselves and ask why they're working with the group in Barcelona and what they're trying to accomplish there. And then what I hope to do then is to ask some questions of them about how Barcelona is supporting their business, why they're in Barcelona, what stage of the business they're in, and how are these various initiatives, and health, and transportation, all these different things, leveraging their business. So I really wanted to make this a little bit fun. So the first thing I wanted to do was to ask our friends from Waze. You might have heard of Waze recently. There's been rumors in the press that they might get acquired by a certain company, or maybe several companies, for a lot of money. There's a connection with between Waze and Barcelona, actually. I do a thing called Mobile 2.0, and we had a Barcelona branch of that. And when this Israeli company was 5 years ago, we were just getting off the ground. We asked a number of their founders to come present at the Telefonica R&D labs. So this company has a long history, if you wish, with Barcelona. Does anybody not know who Waze is? So everybody does know who they are? Okay. Everybody reads the press. Everybody knows. Oh, may I ask, apart from myself, who uses Waze? All right. Okay. Fantastic. All right.
Should I talk into the microphone, or can I just speak out loud?
Go for it.
No, you have the microphone.
Okay. Right. Grab the microphone.
You take that one. Hey guys, so my name is Mark from Waze. So I have a video to show you what Barcelona looks like inside of Waze day to day, where you exist as a global city from Waze's point of view. This is data as of February 7th, 2013. First I'm going to show Barcelona, I'm going to show Rome, Paris, and there'll be one more wild card. So I'll show you, we'll start at a morning commute of Barcelona, we'll move through the day, we'll go to the end, and then I'll show you 3 global cities and how you compare right now. Just a spoiler, right now Barcelona looks like a very young city from Waze's point of view. It looks like it's just at the point of kind of explosion from our point of view. We have just enough people on the road that it's like just about to turn, and it needs something to kick it over the edge. So without further ado, good morning, Barcelona. This is a morning commute, right around 8 a.m. right now. You can see major roads, you can see the spike, you can see the life of the city. And evening commute. At most here, we have about 900 people on the road at the same time or so. And then we show you big markets. Morning commute in Los Angeles. Morning commute in Paris. In this animation, navigation. Red blips show traffic jams. Yellow blips show hazards on the road, things like cars stopped on the shoulder, potholes, that kind of thing. Blue show police. And that's where we exist right now.
Okay, come on, Beth, come on up and sit down, because I want to ask you, because, you know, we had our friends from the various Barcelona institutions talking sort of generally and theoretically about various things you're going to do. What I want to talk about is, as a startup that's kind of moved along in its history and sort of is on the, shall we say, fairly successful, what do you see as the initiative opportunity for yourselves of leveraging what was discussed earlier?
So Waze has pretty good market penetration in major global cities. As far as users on the ground and technology that spurs itself from the ground, from communities, what's very difficult for a startup to do is to create partnerships with governments where they can begin to influence and to really scale and to push into more, getting more users and making real impact on the economy of a city. And what Barcelona is doing for us right now is giving us that in. We are launching, or trying to launch looking forward to launching a program called Congestion Incentives, in which we leverage the users they already have on the road to find innovative ways to reduce congestions on the freeway without charging more to people who make less money. Without charging people to use a road, we want to find ways to navigate people outside of majorly congested roads, which is something that we could turn on in any major city if we had a relationship with the government. Barcelona is the first city who has opened that door for us.
Okay, fantastic. So that's great news. Let me go back to being a startup. If Barcelona and a collection of different people we heard before, they came to you and said, listen, you know, you're a B-round funded company, you've got $20 million in the bank or whatever it is, and we'd like you to launch in Barcelona your European headquarters, your sales headquarters, marketing headquarters, whatever it is. You know, obviously in your case you're an Israeli company, it's a little bit different, but what would you look to in outside of your home market? What are the kinds of things that you would look to in a region or a city that you would normally perceive to be the key drivers for that kind of investment and building out the business?
I think first it's talent on the ground. So we're looking for places where we don't want to ship a bunch of people from the United States to Barcelona and have them in a brand new city. We want talent that we can spur that's local. We want a government that is willing to work with us to scale. And it's about starting a relationship with your home city or home country, not just transplanting a company, but furthering a relationship with making a more global company. We don't want to just move the company, we want to foster communities.
All right, great. Let me ask the two other, I believe there's two others, correct? Or one, just one of them. There's two others. Not two?
No.
Okay. Can the other folks come join us? Because I want to ask you guys as well why you're in Barcelona, how you ended up in Barcelona. And each of you, I'm going to obviously give you an opportunity to pitch your company. I mean, after all, you were kind enough to come and be part of this. So let me ask you first to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your company, why you're in Barcelona, and what you're doing in Barcelona.
Hi everyone, my name is Kai. I'm the Regional Director of Airbnb for Spain and Latin America. I basically built the operations for Spain and Portugal about a year and a half ago, made the decision to open the office in Barcelona and not in Madrid, and after that also became responsible for Latin America. And I don't know who has not heard of Airbnb. Okay. Oh, you have not heard of it? Okay, great. Then I can explain it. Airbnb is a community marketplace for space. So on Airbnb you can rent out any kind of private space, no matter if an apartment or a room, or actually also extraordinary spaces like a castle or igloos or tree houses all around the world for days, weeks or months, as easy as it is to rent a hotel room. All of these spaces are provided by private persons. In most of those, most of those spaces, the people actually live in those spaces themselves, and they rent them out when they don't use them.
So let me ask you, what was apart from the fact that Barcelona Football Club is much better than Real Madrid, why did you choose to go to Barcelona instead of Real Madrid? I mean, instead of Madrid.
So I think, in the decision of Barcelona versus Madrid, which I think, was relevant for us because we knew we wanted to open an office in Spain because Airbnb basically grows with its community. So we had a lot of hosts who signed up in Spain before we actually opened the operations there. But I think for most people here, it's probably rather about the move to Europe. So maybe it's more interesting if I talk about the comparison versus Barcelona versus Berlin and London. And I think there are three things that really stand out for Barcelona. It's the access to talent, its costs, and its quality of life. Let me maybe talk about each one of those points a little bit. So first talent. I think actually Berlin and London are really hyped in Europe. I have started a company in Berlin in 2007 and built it from 2007 to 2010 and sold it, and it was an international company, and I could see over the years how Berlin became more and more popular, and this actually meant that the prices go up, prices of cost of living, prices of rent and so on, and there is a scarcity of talent because obviously there is a war for talent. I think people from San Francisco know what I'm talking about. And this is something that you don't have in Barcelona as strong as in Berlin and in London. Barcelona, from my point of view and from a lot of conversations with entrepreneurs there, still has a rather big talent pool of engineers. Barcelona also in the Spanish comparison, you all know Barcelona is not Spain, it's Catalona. It has a very international community, which means that the English level of a lot of people that you can find there is, let's say, no offense, anyone who's from Spain here, but is above the Spanish average. So that's, I think, particularly interesting for English-speaking North American companies. And also the cost of talent is definitely below Berlin and London. So
when you talk about talent, you mean engineering talent or entrepreneurial talent or just across the board talent?
So yeah, I'm talking most about engineering. We don't have any engineers in our team, but I know it from a lot of conversations I've had. And I think Barcelona also has very strong customer service focus. So I think companies like eBay, for example, they have customer service operations in Barcelona and other web companies. So I think for international customer service operations, it's also a very strong city. But also Barcelona is very popular with designers, etc. They're very good design schools and so on. So I think that also goes for them. The second thing are costs. So if you look at rents, for example, just to give you an idea, right now we are in an office space of 250 square meters. We are on Paseo de Gracia, which is a little bit like Champs-Élysées of Barcelona, right in the center, right next to Plaza Catalunya, in a beautiful modernist office with 2 balconies facing south. We have sun all day. It's this gorgeous old space that we renovated, and we pay 2,500 euros rent a month, which is 10 euros per square meter, which is unbeatable given the location. We can actually see the sea from there, so it's really, I would say, I've been looking at many offices in Barcelona in the last year, and I think it's very easy to find a great space in Barcelona, and at a reasonable price. Same goes for cost of living. If you look at London and Berlin, cost of living is actually going up. If you look at Barcelona, it's also partially due to the financial or to the economic crisis, but it's going down at the moment. I think as a company, as a startup, if you start new operations in a country, you always want to look first at making sure that you go there and the prices are competitive, and that you kind of act anti-cyclical. So this is the price side of Barcelona. And the third part, and I think that should not be forgotten, and my impression that with more and more entrepreneurs and also talent, this becomes increasingly important, is the quality of life. I think I have 4 points that I think about when it comes to the quality of life Barcelona. It's the sea, it's the sun, it's the mobility, and there was a fourth one I don't remember right now. But I'll come back to that.
You have skiing at Baqueira.
What is that?
Skiing at Baqueira is not too bad.
Skiing is not too far. That's true. That's true.
Lee, I want to give our other colleague a chance.
Sorry, I could talk for hours about.
I'm going to come back to you because you know, there's an interesting question there. You left the strongest economy in Europe, and you know, when you look at the Spanish economy, it's been in a free fall for 3 years. It's finally recovering a little bit, but anybody who's doing a business in Spain knows that it's very brutal, difficult economy. So I'd like to come back to you about if a business is moving to Barcelona, can they use Barcelona as their hub launching place to the rest of Europe, considering Spain is a relatively, I mean, hopefully it'll get better, but at the moment, the last couple of years, it hasn't been the strongest economy.